Again, I don't know how all this is going to stay in. This is so much stuff. Maybe I'm just like sandwich conservative. I don't know. Hello and welcome to Gruva Reacts. This is where I'll be reacting to the weird and wonderful stuff the internet has to offer. Today I'll be reacting to this video, here. Best sandwiches ever, lunchbox friendly recipes. Okay. I've never seen this video before, and it was sent to me by Juliana in my community, as they know how I feel about sandwiches and things that are generally called toasties. So before we get into it, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to make sure you never miss out on the latest videos. Right, let's get into this.
A Mumbai street toasty, pork katsu sando, kimchi grilled cheese sandwich, Xi'an spicy beef burgers, and my personal favorite, spicy meatball banh mi. Okay guys, let's make sandwiches. What happens when you take mashed potatoes, spices, cheese, and beautifully toasted bread? Well, you get this famous Mumbai street food snack. This is my version of a Mumbai street toasty. So when someone said to me that there is a toasted sandwich in the world that exists that contains mashed potato plus cheese plus spices, I was like, yes, that is my kind of sandwich. Now, before we get to the sandwich part, let's make our green chutney. Chaat masala, salt, green chilies, and some lemon juice. Now pop that on your blender and then press start. And then this might happen where it doesn't actually blend. So just add 2 tablespoons of water and try again. And then you should get a really smooth,
I love it when the
lovely
fails
puree.
get left in.
And that, my friends, is your green chutney. Let's get on to the spicy potato part. Just heat those until you start to hear them kind of sizzle and pop. Then you can go in with some cumin seeds and some curry leaves. Now to that, I just need some turmeric and some red chili powder. Now that is such a lovely color already. And it smells so beautiful.
It's so wet.
So much more exciting than your
added
regular
water.
grilled cheese sandwich. Okay, so now let's get the potato. And I think this is really cool because you can use like leftover mashed potato from the night before.
No way.
Great way to use up leftovers.
I'm sorry, leftover mash. Oh, it's the worst thing in the world. No. It's got to be fresh. If it's not fresh, I mean, what is it? It's just, ugh. Anyway.
Now add in your spiced oil. A little bit of salt.
And the curry leaves got left in.
And pepper here. Take yourself some bread. And this is like not the time for, you know, like fancy sourdough. Just want like a nice fluffy white loaf.
Like Mother's Pride or something. Perfect.
Fresh bread, fresh white bread. Yum. Butter your slices here.
Butter the bread, that's it. That's the meal.
You know, please go right to the edges. Good toasted sandwich is all about the details.
Nice shot of the hand.
Lay on that potato nice and thick. Tomatoes, capsicum, onion.
Capsicum?
And of course the cheese.
I'm
using like
sure,
a Swiss cheese here, but you could go in with a cheddar.
There's a lot of capsicum in there already.
Now, my chutney, spread that out on your remaining half.
Oh my goodness. Into like a press thing.
The sandwich.
I mean, they look good.
That color, I mean, that is literally like the perfect cross section of a toasted sandwich. Oh.
I think this is the thing. The whole thing sounds kind of wet to me. I prefer something that's a bit more solid, a bit more get your teeth into. Anyway, we've got a lot of sandwiches to get through here, so I better not spend too long on this one.
Shall we? Let's find out if I've done a good job. Crispy crumbed pork cutlets sandwiched with a Japanese barbecue sauce and fluffy white bread. This is the ultimate pork sandwich. It's katsu sando. So the first thing we're going to do though is just this little tiny trick that's going to keep your pork really moist, and that is to dry brine it. So I'm going to sprinkle my pork, and what I've got here is just some pork loin cutlets. They're
kind of excessive for a sandwich, but okay.
1 centimetre, and you would have heard of wet brining. So this is a similar.
See, I still believe that a sandwich is meant to be like the quick meal, something quick that you have. This is not a quick meal. Instantly, it's going to take a lot of preparation time. Thought it's not easy.
Thing, but a little quicker. And then what I want you to do is be a little bit patient and leave these guys for at least 15 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes, and
15
come
minutes
back
for a
and I'll
sandwich.
show you
haven't even
how our
started
pork is
cooking it yet.
transformed. Okay, so
You're
if we have a
starving.
look, you can see the salt has dissolved. Grab my pork with my wet hand and then use my dry hand to get the flour spread out all over. Okay, shake off the excess into my egg, and then your wet hand comes along and douses everything in the egg. Okay, allow that to
I mean, this
drip
never
off,
works for
and
me.
then
I
into
just
your
end up
panko
with
breadcrumbs. So these are
batter up to my
Japanese
arms.
style breadcrumbs. I love them. They're really nice. Okay, now I've got some hot oil around about sort of a centimeter deep in my pan. Just gonna get my pork cutlets straight in there. So once you have a beautiful golden brown, even color, just take them out and drain them on paper towel. And as with anything that comes out of the hot oil,
I think they need
like
to adjust their aperture because
season
it's
with
just
a
a
bit more
little bit
salt.
too
Not
thin.
too much because they are beautifully seasoned.
Camera's really having trouble
inside.
focusing
Little
on
pork
that.
Cutlets.
Japanese
Thick,
bread is the
fluffy
best.
Japanese style bread. And a little bit of butter, edge to edge. Very particular about my sandwich construction. And now here is one essential condiment to this dish, and that is Japanese tonkatsu sauce. Now I like to add a little bit of shaved cabbage just on the bottom. And now time for our pork cutlets. Put a little bit more sauce on top of that first cutlet.
She really likes the sandwiches wet.
Second cutlet.
I don't get this.
So over the top, I love it.
There's so much
Okay,
liquid
and
in
then
them.
I want to finish off with another slice
I don't
of
like a drippy
bread.
sandwich. Who likes a
Some
drippy
butter on
sandwich?
there, and we need more sauce. And now because
oh my lord.
traditionally a Japanese katsu sando would be a little bit squished. Pork cutlets,
This is
the sauce, everything
very long to
pushes
take to
together
make a
into a firm
sandwich.
block.
I mean, literally,
And
most
now here
sandwiches
we are,
2 minutes
guys,
done.
at the beautiful moment of truth. I'm going to take that off. Okay, lift up our sandwich.
Good size sandwich
And
though,
I'm gonna
check
cut
that
the
out. Either
crusts
that or a
off on the
hands are tiny.
sides.
I don't know.
Now, don't worry about those bits. I will be sure to taste test them once we've done filming. And I'm just gonna cut this into thirds. And let's have a look. Ah, I love it. Beautiful, crispy pork, barbecue sauce. I'm gonna have to taste test, obviously, because, you know, too tasty not to.
It's not too tasty not to. You've literally
There's
made
something
this as a
about the way the
demonstration. Of
sandwich is
course, you've got to show it being
constructed.
eaten.
The sauce, the crispy pork.
Check out that cheese.
It's
oh my
dripping
goodness.
again.
And then we're going in with like spicy stuff
What
and mayo.
is in
and,
there?
like,
This can't
so
just be
many
cheese that's dripping.
This is my ultimate kimchi grilled cheese.
With
Now,
kimchi.
finally. All right, so a grilled cheese, or if you're in Australia, a toasty is what we would call it. But it
No,
is
no,
like
no, in
serious
Australia they're
business
called
in
jaffles.
my household. I take cheese and bread very seriously. We're gonna get going on the mayonnaise spread first of all. So I want you to start off with some mayonnaise. I'm gonna doctor the mayonnaise up a little bit though with some Korean gochujang chili paste. And then some sesame seeds as well, which adds a nice little kind of pretty pop of sesame seeds.
This is a long video, okay? And I know that most food videos are quite long, but this is long and I'm impatient. I don't have time to wait for a sandwich that's going to take 3 days to make. Oh my lord.
The cheese is so important. Look, I like to go in with a mixture. So I've chosen 2. I'm going to go in with spring onion and coriander, but you could do whatever mixture you like. Thai basil is really great as well.
Spring onion and coriander mixed in with the cheese, that implies you're going to be cooking it, which is, it's going to kill the flavours a
Add
bit.
some finely grated garlic, just like half a
Agree
clove.
with garlic.
I just want like a little kind of hint of the garlic. All right, now mix all of that together, and you really want to make sure that garlic gets right through that cheese. So I'm using like a white kind of loaf here, and like sort of, I don't know, a couple of centimeters thick.
A
This
couple of
bread's
centimetres
quite
thick.
soft, so it's not too kind of toothsome. And now here's the thing, so I can't stand unevenly buttered or mayonnaised bread.
I know,
get
you've
right to the
made this
corners.
very clear. Okay?
That's going to give us the perfect layer. Okay.
This is literally the first video that I've seen of yours, and I know that you want butter all the way to the edges, no matter what.
Make it nice. Okay, now flip those guys over, because that mayonnaise is going on the outside of the sandwich. Obviously, we wanted that heat and the mayonnaise and everything to get all luscious and amazing.
All the mayonnaise on the
let's go
chopping
with the
board
filling
bothers
though.
me,
I like
okay?
the
I'm
layer
gonna say it.
cheese
Mayonnaise on the
bottom.
chopping board, problem. just don't like it. I don't know why.
I love like that mix of the funky kimchi and that cheesy cheese. And now another layer of cheese on top. So this is really key, I think. You need cheese on the bottom, cheese on the top. That kind of shields the bread from getting too soggy with the kimchi juices. So
it's got so much cheese in it.
Trust.
Who's got time for this? Honestly, is it just me?
Beautiful.
Well, I mean, this is to me like this is part of a meal. The way they're doing this should be part of a meal. You shouldn't just be eating it as a sandwich.
I am currently dying right now.
I don't like the juice.
Okay,
sorry, guys. Too juicy.
Beauties.
It's got liquid pouring out of it. It's not a good sandwich. Spring onion actually looks very nicely warmed through.
Towers of glory right there. Oh my goodness. Just.
Oh, it's falling out the back. No.
So good. And then the outside, because we used that mayonnaise, like you don't even taste that it's mayonnaise. You just kind of get this.
I think there's too much filling in the sandwich. If when you bite into it, all the filling shoots out the back, okay? That's just an opinion. You're allowed to do what you want, but if it's on the floor when you're eating it, it's not my fault.
Toasty, slightly spicy kind of effect on the bread.
Okay.
This is my
It's
very
a burger, not a
non-traditional
sandwich.
version of a meat-filled bread parcel, or a meat sandwich if you like, from Xi'an
Or a burger.
province in
There's words for
China.
this.
Now,
Burgers.
the main flavors here that I'm taking inspiration from, the spices. So cumin and Szechuan peppercorns. Let's get going on those first. I want to toast these to really bring out the best flavor, and some Szechuan peppercorns. Okay, these are looking good. I'm going to get them into my mortar and then grind this to a sort of medium powder. And to that, I want to add a very healthy teaspoon here of chili powder. I really want a good kick of chili spice in these as well. Now I'm using some beef, and I'm going to cut that with a little bit of pork mince for some extra fattiness. And then you want to put in all but about 2 teaspoons of this spice mixture. And now I want to form this into patties just by kind of pushing and pressing gently and not mixing.
I mean, surely these are going to fall to pieces in the pan.
Too much. So next we're going to make a garlic yogurt sauce. Now I've got some thick Greek yogurt here. To that I'm going to add some grated garlic, and then a healthy dose of finely sliced coriander, and the rest of that beautiful spice mix we made earlier.
I mean, coriander, you can't go wrong. That's all I can say. Put coriander on something, it's brilliant. Love coriander.
So in this particular area of China, they make really beautiful wheat flour buns for this kind of dish. Now I found these little pita bread pockets at my supermarket, and these are going to do just fine at a pinch, so I don't have to make my own. But what we won't take a shortcut with is heating these guys up. I want to get them into a pan and get them nice and soft and pliable and just a little bit charry on the outside. A generous sprinkling. A lot of the salt sort of comes off the outside of it. It looks like a lot, but it's not. So I'm just going to take them out and split them through the middle. Don't cut them all the way through. I like to leave a little bit just at the end there to hold everything together. I've got a hot grill plate here. I'm going to add some oil. Just brush that so I've got an even coating. And on go my burger patties.
And it's such a long video. I'm kind of fighting with falling asleep here. It's so loud.
Szechuan peppercorn and cinnamon aroma is just out of this world good.
Why is it so loud? Where did they put the microphone?
Now just on that same grill plate or in the same pan, add a little bit more oil, and then time to get in some onions. And I want some capsicum as well.
Is that really what people call that in Australia, capsicum? Because capsicum is like a lot of different things. It's not just like the pepper, which is used in, I would call it a bell pepper.
So now that these vegetables are looking beautifully sweet and soft,
Does look good.
I'm going to add some spring onion. Just toss that through. And now it's time to build our sandwich. Take one of my buns. I want a very generous helping of that beautiful spicy yogurt.
Genuinely, the focus thing's really getting me. It's
One
like
of my burger patties.
you get to see 0.5 millimeter of something, at a time.
And some of those onions and capsicum.
And the burgers look a little bit dry to me. I may be wrong.
So
I
there
may
you
be
go.
complaining
if you're
about
looking
nothing.
for a
Looks
burger
good.
alternative, something that is full
No, it's a
of
burger.
spicy
It's not an
goodness,
alternative to a
well,
burger. It
this
is a burger.
is the dish for you. Let's have a look.
That's the second bite, right?
So good. That beef has the most amazing texture.
I've got to go back.
Goodness.
Right,
Well,
so when
this
she picks it
is
up,
the
it's like
dish
there's a
for
bite
you.
already out of it, okay?
Let's have a look.
And she's trying to hide it with her finger there. What was wrong with that first bite? I don't know.
So
I'm curious.
good.
I want to know.
That beef has the most amazing texture. It's really soft. Wow, this is one loaded sandwich, guys. Check out that spicy meatball. How do you make the perfect banh mi? Well, I'm going to show you how. This is my version of spicy meatball banh mi. So we're going to start there and make our own very quick
That's a big
pickled
carrot.
So I just need to slice this into some beautiful little strands.
That's a huge carrot.
Now I like to add some red chili in here as well. I'm using a mild chili. So
See,
this
that's
is
a
gonna
capsicum
add
as well.
almost more of a capsicum flavour than a lot of heat.
How do you define what you're using
And all
if
you
you're
need
calling
to
everything the
finish
same
this
thing? I
off
don't
is
get
some
it.
sugar and some white vinegar. So now for the porky meatball part. This is not a super traditional Vietnamese meatball. It's a little bit of a riff, my own little take on it. And I'm gonna make it spicy. So I'm using some of my coconut sriracha for this one. And to that I want some sugar, some fish sauce, and a dash of salt as well. I really want these meatballs to be highly seasoned and really fragrant. They're gonna carry through that flavor right through the sandwich. And a little bit of white pepper as well. And now for all the herby bits and pieces, I've got some coriander here.
Coriander root almost. Kind of nice.
And I want some spring onion as well. And I want some lemongrass as well. Didn't I tell you guys these would be packed with flavor? Okay, just bruise the outside there with the back of your knife and then cut that end off. And I find that this outer part of the spring onion can be quite tough.
I'd say that wasn't bruised. That was like obliterated by the back of the knife.
And make sure you
Let's
get
be
it really
honest.
fine. And then finally some garlic as well. Now we want to roll our meatballs.
Okay. Just a few minutes left.
Okay, so
This
now
has
we want to
been a
get
long
these
video.
meatballs cooked, and I just want a little bit of oil
Meatballs
in my
look good.
pan. Now I want to get this pan really hot because I want a really nice, beautiful char on the outside of these meatballs. Sort of
Seal
mimic
them.
the kind of smoky chariness you'd get from doing these on an outdoor grill. Reminds me of
They're
Vietnamese
quite big
street
meatballs.
food.
I expected them to be little ones like this, tiny little ones. That's big. They look small, but they're quite big.
They certainly smell ridiculously amazing. I'm just going to let them sit here in the pan while I get the rest of my banh mi roll organised. I have my selection of meats. So I've got some pate, and when I was in Hanoi you always judged your banh mi by the quality of the pate.
I mean, what kind of pate is it though?
Okay,
I mean-
so let's get our baguette.
I just
a nice
wonder.
chunk here.
Wrong knife? Just being picky, really.
I like to start
Looks
with
like
my
really good
pork
baguette though.
pate.
That looks
So this is
fantastic
an
baguette.
optional. If you don't particularly like pate or you can't get a hold of it, you can totally leave it out. But if you've had a banh mi in
See,
Hanoi,
that
you
to me, with
probably
the butter, would be a
would
sandwich
find
on
this
its
a
own.
non-negotiable. Now,
I
a
don't need all the
couple of pieces
rest.
of that spicy.
It's what I'd call
pork
fatty.
bacon. And then my chari meatballs. It'll be really tangy, crunchy. Now Kewpie mayonnaise is my preferred mayonnaise for this one. I love the Japanese style of like tangy, sweet mayonnaise. And then a little bit of optional
Again, I don't know
spice
how all
here.
this is
I'm
gonna
gonna
stay
add some
in. This is
coconut
so
sriracha
much
with this
stuff.
one too.
Maybe I'm just like
And then
sandwich
some beautiful
conservative.
fresh
I don't know.
sprigs of coriander is something I always get
That's a
when I'm
yes.
eating this in Hanoi. And there you go, guys. That is one
You can't even close
spicy
it.
meatball banh mi sandwich. Now, this isn't a particularly delicate kind of sandwich to eat.
Because there's so much stuff in it, it's all just going to come flying out. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of sandwich. I'm sure they're all very nice. A lot of them did look very good, to be fair. But I like my sandwich in about 5 minutes. These all look like they would take about 40 minutes. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. If you've got any suggestions for things for me to watch, please do let me know. Drop me a comment, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.